So it's now been 30 months and 30,000 miles with our 2023 Chevrolet Corvette, and I figured it was time to provide an update. So I did a one-year update when it was at about 12,000 miles, but in this video I'm going to cover the maintenance we've done, we're going to cover some of the issues that have popped up about the car, and finally I'm going to show you some of the upgrades that we've done to the vehicle. So stick around. So for those of you new to the channel, probably the best place to start is to tell you what this is. So this is an early production 2023 model Chevrolet Corvette Coupe. It is a 2LT. It is a front lift system, mag ride, as well as Z51 performance package. It has yellow brake calipers and yellow seat belts. It has the floor liners, all-weather floor liners. It's got the liners for both the frunk and the trunk. And I added the tow hook because I do track the car at least once a summer, and that is the just in case I need it. And all of that together came to $82,525. We actually took delivery of the car on June the 8th of 2022 as a 2023 model. And I went to the Chevy website in case you're curious of what that would price out in a 2025 model. And I essentially configured the same car, except Elkhart Lake Blue is no longer available. And it came to $88,500. So it's essentially $6,000 more expensive today than what it was in June of 2022. So let's talk a little bit about maintenance. Now, obviously, since I did the one-year update about the car, we've done a couple of oil changes. We have it done at the dealership we bought the car from. It runs about $200 a piece. But at 22,500 miles, it's time for the transmission filter to be replaced, and the fluid obviously changed. And so that's something that when you buy the car, GM will do it at 7,500 miles for you for free as part of the purchase. And then at 22.5 and every 22,500 miles going forward, you have to replace that filter and fluid. So in our case, because I do track the car, it requires 2 extra quarts of transmission fluid. The cost from the dealership to have the service done was $580. And so that is now completed until I get to 45,000 miles. So let's talk a little bit about tires. So we just put new tires on it just in the last couple of weeks. At 30,000 miles, the tread on the original Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's were getting low. And the driver's rear tire, this one you see here, had picked up a small nail that was causing a leak. And so although we might have been able to go a couple more thousand miles, we decided let's just go ahead and replace them. And so that began the debate about what do we replace them with. In the prior Corvettes we had bought new, we had always gone with run-flat tires and whatever the dealership had recommended. But in doing some reading online and talking to other owners, they have suggested going with non-run flats because it's a more comfortable ride. And so I decided this time around we're going to give it a try. And so what I settled on was a set of Continental Extreme Contact DWS06 Plus. What a complicated name. I had the local Bell Tire put them on. It was $1,456. And what I'm hoping is that this gives a nice all-season tire, that it runs a little quieter than the run flats, that it's more comfortable to drive, and that it came with a 50,000-mile limited warranty, and so I certainly hope that means we get more tread life out of it than we did our Michelins. So if you are a C8 owner watching this video and you have done tires, what direction did you decide to go? What did you put on your C8 Corvette? Drop me a comment below and let me know what you decided to go with. Now, the other interesting thing that I wanted to point out is this letter that we got from Chevrolet. And it essentially is asking us to bring the car in for a software update. And it can't be done over the air. Apparently, it has to be done only at the dealerships. Now, it doesn't indicate that it's urgent. It says it'll be covered for free under warranty up until October 31st of 2026. And so going on the message boards and kind of looking, there was a comment made that it's possible what the problem is when it's doing over-the-air updates now, it is draining the car's battery. And apparently this update they're going to apply at the dealership is going to solve that problem to lessen the impact on the car's battery. I don't know. If somebody watching this is a Chevy engineer or works at a dealership, or you're a C8 owner and you talk to your dealer, what did they tell you about this software update that has to be performed at the dealership? Drop me a comment below. Let me know what you found out. Now, when I did my 1-year update, I had talked about the fact that twice in that first year, we had had situations where we had started the car and this dash right here was just black and didn't show anything. And we would shut off the car and turn it back on and it would be black. But if you shut it off and opened the door or got out of the car and got back in, closed the door, started it again, it came back up and it worked just fine. So what I can tell you in the last 18 months, it's happened 2 more times. In fact, I've got a couple of pictures I'll drop in the video here. I'll show you what it looked like when it happened. And because it's so rare, it's happened twice in 18 months and it's such an easy fix to just open the door and close it again and start the car again, I've decided to just ignore the problem unless it gets more severe. And then the other thing we mentioned is we had the mysterious, the car started on its own. So if you haven't seen my 1-year update, what essentially had happened was the car is in the garage. My wife and I are nowhere near our keys. One is on the kitchen counter, one's on a kitchen table. We are nowhere close to them, and we hear the car start in the garage. I mean, it's gremlins. It just was bizarre. And so we go shut the car off. We can't figure out why it started. It's not like one of us had a key in our pocket that accidentally held down the button to start the car. It was just bizarre. And that happened in the first year of ownership, and it has not repeated itself since then. So thank goodness we have not had that problem. So let's talk about cosmetics. So there have been a couple of things that have popped up. On the plus side, the wheels have held up really well. Neither my wife nor I have curbed them in any way. The frustrating thing of these, of course, is with the stock brake pads that it's just constantly dirty. And I'm constantly cleaning these wheels. So I think when it needs its first brake job, I'm going to see if we can figure out a set of pads that will not make it as severe as what I've been dealing with. And then over here, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a scratch mark right here. A stone got up and scratched the paint right there, so I'm going to get a little touch-up paint for that. And then there was my stupid maneuver, which is you can see the damage right here on the blade. That's what I'm going to call it. And that was caused by me. I was cleaning the car with a brush that was on a pole, and I was in a hurry, and I'm going back and forth, and I whacked that with the pole, and I caused that little bit of damage right there. And so I've got to fix that as well. But other than that, it really has held up very well. The Expel protectant we had put on the entire front end, the A-pillars, the mirrors and everything, has done a wonderful job. You can't even tell it's there, except the mirrors. If you take a close look at the mirrors, you can see it. But otherwise, it's really done a great job of keeping any stone chips or anything off the car. And so I'm very happy with that purchase. So let's talk about upgrades. The big upgrade that was done since I did the 1-year update is an appearance update to the engine. So we took off the factory engine cover and we replaced it with this painted cover. And it's actually a factory cover that is custom painted. The company we found at the Corvette Caravan down in Bowling Green, Kentucky in August. And the company is called Classic Trim Customs out of Homestead, Florida, which is just south of Miami. And they take factory covers and they paint them different colors. And so we customized it and said, okay, we want the yellow cover, but we want blue for the lettering for Corvette. And so they did the cover for us and sent it to us. I don't know, it's probably 6 or 8 weeks after we had ordered it. And they ran a special at Corvette Caravan, so we paid $690 for this. But on their website, it looks like it's a $795 item, if that is what you want. And then the other item that we added for another $140 was there were 3 covers. So there is one for, this one here is Radiator, and up front in the front, and I'll drop in the video here, there are covers for windshield washer fluid and for the brake fluid. And then this is actually a painted original factory cap for oil. And so it even puts the Mobil One logo on it and everything. We thought it looked really cool and helped update it. And so that is the major upgrade as far as what we've added to the car since I did my last update. Now, what will we do next? Good question. We'll probably do some additional appearance things here. There are covers here that I've talked about before. There's covers that go over here that you can add. And so that's something that we might do in the future. But this was the big addition that we decided for this year. One of the upgrades I had talked about in the 1-year update is when we first bought the car, we put in we had the dealer install the SureGuard radiator guard to protect. You can see if I zoom in here, you can see the fins get damaged a little bit, and this damage isn't too bad because some very small stones that'll fit through these openings have gotten through. But without this guard, imagine what size stones could go through here, and you'd really get a lot of damage on the radiator on each side. And since our plan is to put 100,000 miles on this car, we knew we wanted to protect that. Now, at the time, we bought it directly from SureGuard and then took it to the dealer, and the dealer installed it, and they said it does not void the warranty. It's actually covered under warranty. And now, when you configure a car on Chevy's website, you can actually add this feature, and it's $525, and I highly recommend it to anybody thinking about ordering a C8. And that concludes my 30-month, 30,000-mile update on our Chevrolet Corvette Coupe 2023 model. And my wife and I love this car. We drive it everywhere as much as we can. And I'm actually filming this on December 28th, 2024. And we live in Metro Detroit, Michigan, where normally at this time of year we would have snow on the ground. And here I am, and the temperature is over 50 degrees. And so we keep right on driving it till that first big snowstorm arrives. And then, of course, it goes into storage for a couple of months. My name is Tom Stroup. You've been watching Find the Right Road. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks. We'll catch you next time.